reflected over the past 5 months of creating my space learning platform. And today I'm going to show you the main 3 pitfalls that I have fallen into and what I'm doing differently now. So let's go. So this was the reflection that I did, there's many things over here that I did, many tags, many insights, many notes. And I'm basically going to summarize this and explain the main things. So let's go. Let's start with the first pitfall. So during my journey, I was really short-sighted. I was focused too much on the nitty-gritty, on the details. And that caused me so much pain. I didn't have enough times to step back and look at the big picture, observe the situation, see what is actually going on without any biases. Because I didn't do that and I was so scared, I was so emotional all the time, because I was anxious, I was negative. I had extremely high expectations, and because of all of that negativity and not being able to reach them, I put myself down and I didn't allow myself to step back, I didn't allow myself to get out of the details. And that manifested in many problems. Like, for example, we have here the SpaceWise planning cycle. I planned for my app, my code project 5 times, at least 5 times. A couple of months ago, I had the idea that I wanted to plan for my project. I wanted to have really clearly defined what do I need to get done and what do I need to get done each week. What milestones do I need to have so that I can achieve my project and do everything that I want to do. But then a couple of weeks later, I found myself that I wasn't following this plan that I did. And a couple of weeks later, the same thing, I wasn't following it. And I planned again and again and again, but I didn't actually follow it. That means that I was too focused on the planning and I didn't see the problem. And even if sometimes I did go back to the big picture and I saw kind of what was going on, I'm in a cycle and I need to stop this, I need to do something about this. Literally the next day I was back on the details and I didn't go back to the big picture in weeks or months. And each time I went back to the big picture and actually saw things for how they were, I said, well, I need to plan, but I wasn't seeing what actually was going wrong. I didn't put any systems in place so that I could fix the problem. So I didn't dive deep into it and I didn't put systems in place to fix it. So the problem just stayed there. And to be honest, I haven't yet arrived to the conclusion of why this was happening, what was the problem in itself. But I have some hypotheses, it could be because of delusion and poor emotional management. But fundamentally, I believe it's just because I wasn't able to every single day step back and see the plan. I wasn't able to do that. I had the belief that to be able to do that, to step back and see the plan and modify it, I had to have a perfect system in Notion. Yeah, perfect workplace in Notion, perfect system in Notion. So that's what I literally tried to do for ages. Complete waste of time. But I accept that this is my journey and it had to happen so that I could learn, and well, here I am. And of course, because of that, because I was always repeating the same mistake, I had so much negativity and many low frequency emotions that are overwhelming me, means that I don't have critical thinking. I can't think clearly. And well, because I can't think clearly, I have much less awareness of what's going on. So I prioritize incorrectly because I'm not aware of what is the most important thing. I can't see things clearly, and that just increases more negative emotions because I see that I'm not making progress, and that is just a cycle that repeats itself. And well, yeah, I got cooked. What am I doing differently now? What I'm doing now is getting into the habit of every single day stepping back. What I do exactly is detach from my emotions, and I specifically write down what is going on. What are the facts? What can I observe from this situation? And I remove myself from it. I step away from the details, detach away from the details, and I write down what are the facts, what is the situation, what is going on. I can show you the example of how I did it today. If we go over here to the beginning, you see desires, observations, and problems. Here are the facts of what's going on right now in this moment, And after having these listed out, I can see much better the logical action step that I can make. And if instead of letting my emotions control what I do, I evaluate the situation and observe it logically. This is really related to being stoic, and this is helping me immensely to make more progress. Let's go to the second pitfall. The second pitfall is me trying to create perfect systems and thinking of what is the best step-by-step process that I can take to achieve my goal. Now, I did many things wrong here that made me waste so much time, but I believe, again, it's not time wasted because I've learned from it. Well, previously, when I tried to create a system, I was really perfectionistic and I tried to make it perfect. So from the start, I'm already losing, because a system, well, I'll get into it a bit later, how I'm doing it now, but what I did was think of the maybe perfect series of steps, and until I didn't get that perfect sequence of steps, I would not do anything else. The problem here is that if I don't get clarity on how the system works, I'm not going to be able to actually build it. And the best way, in my opinion, to get clarity is just to take action and try and then reflect, experiment, make hypotheses, try, experiment, make hypotheses. That is the best way, in my opinion, to get clarity. And that's how I'm doing systems now. Instead of idealizing the perfect thing right away, I create a little hypothesis, 1 minute of thinking. Just, okay, how am I going to do this? What are the series of steps that I can take? Okay, maybe I can do this and this and this. Okay, maybe it's really simple at first. I just put the big picture things, really simplified, just anything that gets me started to take action and then reflect. I try to act imperfectly now. Like, I don't let it take much time in the early stages. I just make a hypothesis, try it, experiment with it. And then the thing that keeps me sane and removes the anxiety of not doing this perfectly is reflecting after it. Reflecting is the key part. When I say reflecting, I mean literally sitting down, writing down what I did, what I can improve, reflecting over my emotions. How did I feel when I executed this task, when I worked? And then going deep into the emotions. Why did I feel this way? Why am I feeling right now that this part of the process, when I was executing it, why did I feel that I was super slow, Why did I feel that I didn't want to do it? Why did I feel so much resistance? Why did I feel so good when I did that? Stuff like these ones, And the main goal of this reflection is to improve one thing and then experiment again. That is what I'm doing right now. And earlier, before, bro, you can see the videos on my channel. I'm literally creating. Let me actually show it to you. This is what I was doing earlier. So we go over here. I was literally this was what I was doing. Do you see this? This took me so long, and I was so much time. I was doing this so much time, and now I don't even use this. Now, I do think that I could get some good insights from this and apply it to my life now. But this was just so much. And I wasn't experimenting almost anything. I wasn't reflecting. I was just sitting down and imagining, how would this be? I could have done so much more progress if I actually tried. Let's go to the third pitfall. This is also a little bit related to the last one, but if I didn't have complete certainty on how to do something, I wouldn't do it. If I didn't overthink it for days, I wouldn't do it. I was just unable to take action because my thinking previously was, if I don't think about this enough, then I'm gonna just be poor at this. I'm gonna execute so bad, and I don't want to execute bad. I don't want to do this work and be bad at it. I don't want to. I want to have high expectations for myself. I can't do that, And I felt that if I thought a little bit more about this, I could do it so much better. If I just stayed maybe for 10 minutes thinking a little bit more about it, then I could do it much better and achieve a much better result. But of course, those were not 10 minutes. Those turned into hours, into days, and I was thinking it was productive, but it actually wasn't. I was trying to get clarity from thinking. But again, the same thing that I just said, clarity, in my opinion, is just I get it from action, and then I improve from reflection. The main theme here is that I had so many mental barriers. The only way that I actually was able to remove those barriers was stepping back and detaching, looking at the big picture, doing this process of seeing the facts, seeing what is going on right here, noting down what is going on and logically evaluating it, removing the emotions. Because if I have the emotions, I'm gonna have doubt. I'm not gonna be confident in what I do. I'm gonna be at 40% capability, instead of 100, instead of 105%. If I have these emotions, I'm not gonna execute properly. And if I don't execute properly the task that I need to execute, I'm gonna have even more negative emotions because I wanna be here. I wanna have these high expectations, and I know that I can do so much better, but I'm not. And that increases more negative emotions, and that increased negative emotions makes me perform even worse. So the key here that I found that helped me so much is to detach. And I've learned this specific thing from Jocko Willing. He's a former Navy SEAL, and it's saving my life. This is saving my life. So that is basically what I've learned, learned from today's reflection. And right now, let's go to part 2 of this video, where I just share what I eat, share my meals, share how much I sleep, like many more personal, more detailed stuff. And I share my thoughts. It's really more raw, it's more uncut, and yeah, I share my day. So let's get into it. Yo, so I'm gonna have my meal right now. Okay, we've got chicken breast. Actually, what? Chicken breast? Oh my god, I'm crazy. We've got 12 eggs, we've got sardines. This is really good for omega 3s, for proteins, for fats, everything. We've got the salad here, very simple, but I love it, with tomatoes and onions only. Some olive oil, and we've got here some salt, some coffee, a little bit of cheese, and some peanuts. There's around 3,000 calories here, sort of. And this is really nice for my bulk. So after this, I'm gonna go to the gym, and then we'll see. I'll come back, we'll do something. Let's go. All right, what is up? So I just came back from the gym, and well, I'm tired, of course. It was leg day. Today is Monday. I spoke to some people, and actually many things happened. So I live in Portugal, and I was walking down the hallway after going to the gym, after leaving the gym, and I found Spanish people, Spanish young men like me from my age, and they were playing a football tournament, football, soccer, and I'm Spanish. And it was so weird because it was so weird hearing Spanish people here in Portugal. So I immediately, well, not immediately. I could have ignored them if I were to be my old self. But because I'm trying to be more social and speak to more people, then I just spoke. I said, "Oh, you're Spanish, you know," and stuff like that. And I mean, I'll keep telling you a bit of the story afterwards. But right now, I'm gonna meditate. Yep, I'm gonna meditate for 20 minutes. And after meditation, I'm gonna speak a little bit more about what happened today, speak more a bit of the story, improve my communication skills as well right now. And then I'm going to record 2 videos, one from like 2 days ago, one from yesterday, and then tomorrow morning I'm gonna record the one from today. So yeah, let's do it. When I say record, I mean recording the introduction and the first part of the video. I'm also trying to figure out, is this hair going to look good on me? So I have a little bit of hair here, and I'm letting it grow. Usually I just cut it off, like my hair, like this. But I'm letting it grow, and I'm here as well, and I'm gonna try things out. I'm gonna experiment. So let's see. Yep, let's meditate for 20 minutes, and I'm also gonna gratitude journal. Let's go. Right now, I'm thinking, how do I turn an intention that I have into action and progress, and bypass my limiting beliefs, my barriers, mental blocks, whatever? How do I do that? how do I make the right choices? It's like a very, not basic, but it's just the basics. It's the basics, but the basics are principles. They're important. They're basics for a reason. They're really important, and I want to think about that. I want to think about how can I turn a want and intention into progress as fast as possible, and bypass all of my barriers as fast as possible as well. I'm gonna reflect a little bit about that in a second, but first I'm gonna speak about what I've done. Wait, let me actually give you an example. So right now I want to make progress on my communication skills, on my speaking skills while recording for YouTube, right? So I've been wanting to do that for days, and I've been procrastinating for days. The problem is that I can't turn that intention, that want, into action, into progress. And I'm curious about what the hell is going on and why can't I do that? It's so simple. I'll only need to write in a piece of paper what I want to do and do it. Or not even that, just do it, So I want to improve my communication skills, right? And I've been watching some podcasts about that. Vin Yang, he's the GOAT. I've learned that there are many vocal foundations that I can work on. There's many things that I can do, many actionable steps that I can do towards improving my communication skills. What I want to do is record and improve one aspect. Just experiment with one aspect and try to improve my speaking, But I haven't been able to do that for the past days. Now I'm repeating myself over here. I'm just repeating myself, so I don't like that. But what I want to say is, if I logically observe the situation, I only logically, without looking at emotions or anything like that, I just need to take a series of steps, some actions towards achieving my intention, which is experiment with one thing to improve and try to improve that in my next video recording session. What I need to do is pick one thing and maybe write down exactly what I'm going to do for clarity, and then just do it, and then reflect and do it again. Supposedly that's what I have to do, and it's simple, it's direct, it's clear, I know it, but I haven't been able to do it for some reason, and I'm curious about what is that reason. How can I stop being blocked, and how can I turn an intention towards progress not be blocked by anything and just bypass the barriers? So that is the example that I wanted to explain, and it's taken me so much for such a simple example. I guess that's another improvement that I can make. Now let me speak about what I've done in the gym and stuff like that, because it's what's on my mind right now. It's social skills, it's communication, it's trying to improve on that. Because when I improve my communication skills and when I try to connect with people and I work on that, I feel so much happier. I feel so happy when I do that. Even though it's really uncomfortable and there's a part of my mind that's always thinking negatively and saying things in a negative way, I always bring myself back into a growth mindset, and I just manually insert positive thoughts in my head so that I don't stop experimenting, so I don't stop speaking to people, so I don't get discouraged by my own mind. I insert positive thoughts, really important. Let me speak about my experience today. So I went to the gym normally, just as usual, with my bike. Went to the gym, came in, I do what I always do, which is just say hello to the receptionist, but today I didn't do it because I saw that she was focused on the computer. Maybe I cope, maybe I should have said it, So that's a good thing. I'm reflecting right now. That's a good thing. There are some things that I want to speak about. Exactly. I communicated. So there was a guy that I approached. I first of all entered the gym, just shook hands with my people I already know. Said how is their day, how are they doing, what are they training, the basics. Maybe I could have asked some deep questions, to connect with them, but that's an improvement that I can make. Then I also, at the end of the workout, I entered really late, so I didn't have much time to work out. So I just went to the receptionist and asked if I could stay for an hour. Maybe I could pay, and they let me. So that's, well, she let me. So I'm really grateful for her, and I'm really happy because I stayed for an hour longer and I could do more exercises. I could train more. I could socialize with more people, and a classmate was there, so it was more fun. The main point that I want to do here is that I approached this guy that I haven't met yet. I approached him, asked him some questions, and I found out that he broke his finger, so he had to stay for a month or more without going to the gym. So that's crazy. No, not a month, maybe a year. I don't know. Either way, the main point that I want to say here is that I approached, even though it didn't feel like it, even though it felt uncomfortable, it felt so a part of my brain didn't want to do it, but I did it anyways, and that's basically what's important. And then I asked some questions, and what I learned from that is that I guess the conversation went well. I asked a couple of questions, but I could have asked deeper questions. I could have connected better with him. I could have shared some vulnerability when he asked me a question. So I need to work on that. Then when the workout finished, after showering, I had to scream, as I said. And that I'm pointing this out because I've been reflecting a lot about vulnerability and confidence and my ego. And I'm trying to show more vulnerability in my life. Now, vulnerability is not crying, of course. It's not just crying around and giving pity or something like that. It's not being a victim. It's showing things about myself that people could judge. So, for example, in this case, I screamed loudly so that I could get the attention of the receptionist and so that I could leave the gym. And that is vulnerability because people could judge me. People could say, what the hell is this guy screaming? His voice is pitchy. It wasn't, but who knows, bro, my head just could say anything. And that is vulnerability. And I'm trying to incorporate it more, in my life, because I've always had these actions of trying to portray myself as someone that has no mistakes, someone that's perfect, someone that like I will never show vulnerability or anything that people judge, And I want to change that, to be honest. Why do I want to change that? Because if I'm this perfect guy, if I portray myself as this guy, this man, I'm not gonna be able to connect with people. It's just gonna be strange. And when I actually have to show vulnerability because, I don't know, maybe I'm bad at something, maybe I messed up, I need to get out of my comfort zone and appear really dumb, for example, because, that's just the price of being successful. I need to be okay with looking so dumb to other people that they don't even care about me, but I just don't care about that because I'm gonna be successful. Successful depends on what you might say. Success is Lambos and a lot of money. For me, success is not that. I actually don't have a definition for success, but I have an idea of what that might be. Success for me is doing what I want to do every day, being free. So it's like freedom. It's being excited to wake up every single day and do what I love. It's providing for my family. That's for me, that's success. And I'm gonna achieve that if I show more vulnerability. It helps me to connect more with people. It helps me to be more confident in myself. So that's why I do it. And then the next thing that I did, I went to the supermarket to buy some coffee. Spoke to another person. I'm trying to speak to as many people as possible. So I saw that one worker there was passing by, and I asked, what coffee do you think is best? Because I was trying to decide between coffees, like there were many, and I didn't want to choose one that was synthetic because I have the experience of drinking synthetic coffee, and that is just so horrible, man. So horrible. I don't like the flavor at all. Like, it doesn't even taste like coffee, to be honest. But I bought one Arabic one right now, and I tasted it. It's still, how do you say it? It's still, okay, I looked it up. Bitter. It's really bitter, but it has some substance, you know? I didn't put any sugar in it or sweeteners or anything. I don't do that. I just drink it fully black coffee with just water. And it's still bitter, but it has something. It's strange. When I drank this coffee that it dissolves with water, right? It felt like there was nothing, and it was so bitter and it's so bad. But then I drank this, and there is like some consistency, not consistency. There's some depth to the flavor. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just better. So, and it's also cheaper, so that's nice as well. Okay, Arabic coffee, really nice. Then, when I was in the supermarket, I heard these Spanish people, and I could have just went by and not do anything, but I am trying to get out of my comfort zone, so I spoke to them. Now the problem is that I'm not good at communicating, even though, even in Spanish, even in any language, I still struggle to communicate and connect with people because, well, I'm learning, and I have not had good experiences in the past trying to do that, so I'm removing many barriers that I have, many limiting beliefs. And right now I'm just trying, trying stuff, I'm experimenting, I'm trying to speak to more people. And I mean, I asked some questions to them, like what they were doing there. I showed really a lot of enthusiasm and energy and joy to see them. But I didn't ask many questions, bro. I asked like 2 or 3 questions, and then I said, well, good luck, I'm gonna leave. And I could have connected with them so much more, bro. I don't know why I didn't do it. I don't know why. Oh, I had a realization. I just remembered. I had a realization in the gym that I don't get any questions appearing in my head, any deep questions, because I actually don't have the intention towards getting to know the other person. I don't actually want to do it, or a big part of my mind doesn't want to do it for some reason. I want to do it. I want to like connect, and it's fun to connect. It's actually interesting, but I have like a mental barrier to set the intention that I want to connect with people. For example, just before a conversation, I have this actionable step that I want to do. Okay, ask one deep question, right? Ask that deep question. I always ask the same one or almost like a very similar one. So ask the deep question. and then just listen to that person. But I don't set the intention to get to know that person, you know. I don't set the intention to ask deeper questions and uncover the beliefs and the values. And I don't have that intention, but I think it's just because of fear. It's some kind of fear deep down inside me that I need to uncover. I need to work on getting out. I just need to set the intention and try it. Try to set the intention to actually get to know somebody, you know. So that were my experiences. Oh yeah, and then after that, what did I do? I went with the bike, and I showed more vulnerability. I went with the bike. I specifically went close to them, and I screamed something that you say in Spain. It's like arriba España, you know. I don't know, something you say there, and it's more vulnerability. And I laughed as well after that. So more vulnerability. I'm getting used to that, and I think it's really nice. Oh yeah, I also almost forgot to pay because I was so shocked that I saw Spanish people and I talked to them that I almost left without paying what I was going to buy. This is crazy. And the guy on the counter, he looked at me crazy. But that was it. So right now what I'm gonna do is reflect a little bit about how do I turn this intention into action always more easily, and try to break those barriers as fast as possible, or go over them, or just ignore them, you know, at least, and get what I have to do, get it done. Let's go. Good night. So yeah, good afternoon, good night. It's 1:16 a.m. I'm gonna have dinner. So here we've got it. We've got chicken breast cooked with butter, onions, tomatoes. We have avocado, proteins, fats, everything. Proteins, fats, onions. We've got everything here as well. Many calories. Coffee at 1 a.m. Yeah. I'm gonna watch a communication video and I'm really excited. So let's go. And this is probably the last clip you'll see from me today. So bye bye. Have a nice one. I'll see you on the next one.